all see this title of the video, and you guys are probably listening to a repeat of this video. But what I'm about to ask has nothing to do with the title right now. But women, seriously, I don't understand when you guys shop that you like something, you try it on, you ask us, how does it look? We tell you, with all honesty, babe, that really looks good on you. Like, that really looks good on you. I like that. Why is it that y'all will go, really? And we men will go, yeah, babe. Like we're telling the truth. You look really good in that. And then y'all don't buy it. Again, for some of you guys that are joining in right now, what's going on, Say It Bro? What's going on, Kim Martin? Karen Stoner, Lance Sherman, Q the Cat is in the house. Simon Petkopolis, Mike Taylor, News, appreciate it, said he got a notification. Barbara Johnson, hello from the night of Sunshine, Florida. I miss Florida so bad. Patty Claude. But I don't know if you guys heard me what I said in the beginning. Well, Miss Terry Thomas said, Ty, I hope you're enjoying your Friday. I am, but I'm kind of not right now. That's why I jumped in the car and get ready to do this video. We got to some shopping centers, like around, what time is it right now? Jesus Christ. We got to some shopping centers like around 6 o'clock, right? And I asked a question at the beginning of this video. Ladies, you know, you think it's a stereotype, but you know, since we in this part of our lives, you know, my sons are grown. It's me and my wife. And I feel like my wife is really making up for the 16, 17, 18 years that she's been holding it down at home, being a housewife, homemaker, awesome mom, awesome guidance to other young children, awesome wife. I think my wife is getting all of her time back that she was not able to go and do the shopping and beautifying herself with clothes and shoes. I think she's getting that all back with like a vengeance. I'm in the truck right now because we got here at 6 o'clock or something. My wife is still in these shopping centers looking at clothes that she's going to buy. Ladies, why? Why do you guys try on all these outfits and you guys say things like, ooh, this is really cute right here. I know your wife comes out and show me this outfit. I'm, woo, babe. Yes, yes, yes. That looks so, babe. Oh my God. That really looks good on you right there. I don't know. I thought that it was like a little bit of a stereotype. And guys, in case you didn't know it, I'm letting my wife do her thing. But after about 2 hours, guys, I said 6 o'clock. It's 8:52 Central Time. We got in there at 6 o'clock. It's going on almost 3 hours. My wife tried on maybe, I'm not lying, she tried on maybe 18 different outfits that all of them took maybe a good 3 to 5 minutes for her to put it on the way she wanted to look, put it on how she wanted to look. Look, ladies, when you guys are trying on clothes, why do y'all have to try to, you're trying on clothes. Why is my wife trying to try on clothes while putting her hair up in a certain hairstyle with the clothes? Understand this. Y'all might laugh at me because y'all like, Ty, you're new to this. I'm new to this. I heard the stereotypes and the cliches of women dressing, trying on dressing clothes and things like that. I understand all that, but y'all really have to try to you have to really try to do your hair with the outfit on. It's not going to change your body. Now, there are some outfits that my wife tried on. I'm like, nah, babe, that one right there don't look good on you. You don't, brown is not your color, babe. Or, you always wear black, babe. You've always wear gray. I understand that these are new fashions, but I've always seen you in black and gray as a mother. But now my wife is like, she's looking at some good clothes. But I'm like, why are you doing your hair? Why are you doing your hair? What does your hair have to do with the outfit? I'm looking at your body. But yeah, but like if I have my hair like this, and I mean, does that look good with this outfit? I don't know. Your body looks good in those clothes, though. I don't care. I don't know what hairstyle. You should have brought your sister. So guess what? Because one of my young men, my son, my youngest son, he's with us. Guess what happened? He's in there with my wife right now. He's in there with my wife right now. And I'm giving my son a little bit of a lesson for one day when he gets married, that this is something that he's going to have to do. So now my son is in there and he's having to look at my wife, try on these different clothes with these different hairstyles, with these different shoes, with this type of bracelet or something like that. Now he's having to sit in there. He just sent me a text and said, Dad, where are you? I'm not answering. The last time I talked to my wife and my son, I said, hey, I have to use the bathroom. And then I said, and my wife said, you got to use the bathroom? I said, yeah, I got to use the bathroom. I didn't lie. I went and used the bathroom and I told her, I said, yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to sit down. I am sitting down out in the car. So, so my son and their dad, geez, your stomach must be hurting. I'm not answering at all. I'm talking to you guys. So with that being said, I lollygagged a lot, ladies and gentlemen. My wife deserves to be in there shopping as long as she wants to, just not shopping with me. 3 hours? I mean, I get if she was in there an hour, we come back tomorrow, go to another place, she's in there an hour, but 3 hours? And then here's going to be the crazy thing. Watch she comes out with like maybe 3 or 4 outfits after trying on like 30. All right, so I lollygagged a lot on this, guys. I lollygagged a lot on this. I'm going to go ahead and get right on into this. I appreciate you all being in here, taking your time out of your evening, depending on what side of the nation you're on. Even if you're on a certain side of the pond, I appreciate you guys all chiming in and all this good stuff. Make sure that if you're liking what I'm doing thus far in my material, if you're on your phone, double tap the screen. It will give the video a thumbs up. If you're on your computer, be sure to give the video a thumbs up so my content can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram as Modern Renaissance Man. The O in modern is a 0. It's the same way on TikTok. You can find me on X, or known as Twitter, as The Real Ty Smith. You can find me on Rumble as Modern Renaissance Man. You might have to, it's spelled weird, but it's supposed to be spelled that way. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys all being here. Again, I see my guy Said Bros in here. Hope, Catacat, however you say that. Said Bro again is in the house. Ossie is in the house. Melanie is in the house. Gretchen is in the house. Patty Clyde is laughing at me. Charity Lane is in the house. Maud is in the house. Ballistic Unicorn, Waffle, Joyce Decker, Southern Girl, Cammy Johnson, Hazy, DBDB, Gretchen, Gaming Tastic, Charity Lane, Barbara Johnson, Melanie in North Carolina, Charity Lane again, heckled, Harry Johnson. All right, appreciate you guys all being in here, right? Margaret, appreciate you saying stay safe. I'm not safe from my wife's shopping, but I am safe now because I don't have to be in there. My son is suffering. What's going on, Alex? What's going on, David? What's going on, Mountain Dan? All right, so let me go ahead and get into this. If you guys read the title, you see in here that it says President Trump is looking to cut junk food and sugary drinks from food stamps. And to that, I say, good. Good. President Trump is looking to cut junk food and sugary drinks from the food stamp program. And Nebraska is one of the first states that's actually pioneering the way. Right? Now, the reason why that is such a good thing is because If you go back and look at the history of food stamps, it was created so that kids and families, low income, single parent homes, whatever like that, the whole overall reason why it was created so that kids can get nutrition by the way of food. But we all know and we've all seen, and let's keep it real, it doesn't matter, it's across the board, whether you are white, whether you are black, doesn't matter, especially where I grew up at. Now, in the 80s and the 90s, I will say that the way that our cupboards or our pantries looked, it was food. But I can say this. Our food, I don't know if all y'all experience this, our food, especially the meat, it all came wrapped in that white butcher's paper. Like when you got beef or chicken or ground beef, it was all wrapped in that butcher's white paper or brown wax-like paper, right? When you got cereal, it did come in a box. And I'm telling you, I was one of the kids that when we got cereal, you read the box. It did not have a whole lot of crazy stuff that you couldn't read in it. Let's just say that. I grew up in an era where I had government cheese, and the ingredient was salt. It was the cheese and salt. That was it. And then we had the saltini crackers. It was just made out of crackers. We had the Kaboom cereal, King vitamin that tore up the roof of your mouth. We didn't have Fruit Loops. We had Fruit Rounds. We didn't have Apple Jacks. We had Apple Jills. We didn't have Rice Krispies. We had Rice Crunchies. Right. We didn't have Cocoa Puffs. We had Cocoa Dots. Right. But that government cheese was so fire, man. I'm telling you, it was a real deal, man. Here's the deal, though, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things changed. The government changed. The FDA started allowing them to put all kind of stuff in our food, right? And here's the deal. What got crazy is that parents went completely nuts. I'm not making this up, guys. It got to a point to where over 60% of all the food that you would see in these shopping carts were all Debbie cakes, Hostess. Everything was like, it was all kinds of soda. It used to be like if you was on a WIC program, they gave you the real apple juice, y'all remember that? The Disney characters were on them. Who remembers that? Like when we were getting WIC, when I was a kid and all that, it came in an aluminum big giant can. Donald Duck was on one, Goofy was on one, Mickey Mouse was on one, and we got grape juice, orange juice, and apple juice. And we got a big old giant thing of milk with like 4 boxes of cereal and a block of cheese through WIC. And only thing you saw on those things was apple juice, purified water. That was it. Orange juice, purified water. Grape juice, purified water. That was it. So what I'm saying that for is this. Next thing you know, when they started, I don't know where it started at, but people just got ridiculous, and like 60% of everything that they were buying for their children was all junk food, cakes, cookies, Twinkies, juice, soda, you can call it pop, Fanta, Faygo, Value, RC Cola, that's all you were seeing. And then when you would see these kids eat, you would see like a hot dog with zebra cakes and those little grenade looking juices. That's all you would see, right? So now, once that started getting allowed, what you started seeing is an increase. You started seeing an increase in obesity. You start seeing an increase in hyperactivity or attention deficit disorder. You start seeing all kinds of weird things like that going on with kids, right? You started seeing a whole bunch of crazy neurological issues and disorders and things going on with kids. And I think that we became so accustomed, because I'm telling you right now, if any of you guys grew up in I'm an 80s baby, okay? If you grew up in the 80s, 90s, and you got away from a lot of stuff that you used to eat when you were a kid, you cannot tell me, like, man, I tried to eat a ding dong, like one of my young kids, my young folks, don't get me wrong, folks, let's keep it real. in moderation is how it's supposed to go. But guys, ho-hos don't taste the same. Ding dongs don't taste the same. Swiss rolls don't taste the same. The freaking juice, the juice does not taste the same. You can literally, if you've been away from it like a while like I have, you can literally taste the freaking dye in these juices. Like you like, ugh, like, woo, what happened? Oh man, Mr. Ty, you just being dramatic. No, it don't taste like this. This is not how juicy juice used to taste. Like, this is not how the red juice used to taste. This is not how the soda tastes. Now, if you look on the back of these cans and on the back of these food ingredients, it's 1,000 ingredients. Like, to make a cake, you're talking sugar, butter, flour, baking soda, maybe baking powder. Mix it in there, your dry ingredients, mix in some eggs, you know, then you get some powdered sugar, you know, mix in a little bit of olive oil and make your frosting with it. Or better yet, you can just take egg white and beat it until it becomes like almost a cream, put some sugar in there. You got your own little self-made whipped cream. This is stuff that I remember, right? And now, all these ingredients that's in this food is absolutely ridiculous. And when you look up what these ingredients are and what they do, it should scare you. Now, here's another deal, ladies and gentlemen. When I got this and I went to some communities and I talked about it, y'all, and I'm talking about it right now because I know a lot of them are in the chat, in certain neighborhoods, y'all know we just came from it last weekend. You guys acted a complete fool. Like, you acted a complete fool. I cannot believe that you guys were going off and snapping, pissed off, yelling and mad. Who are these people to tell us what we can and what we can't buy? If I want to feed my daughter whatever I want to, I'm going to feed her whatever I want to. You guys got pissed off. And let me make this clear. I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about white people too. I'm talking about a lot of people that receive food stamps. When this news hit the fan, you guys got pissed off. Also, what? My child's not going to be able to enjoy some snacks? My child is not going to be able to enjoy some mother effing juice? I can't buy my child no soda? I can't. Yes, you can buy your child all those things. But with your money, it's easy. You can buy your child whatever you want to, but with your money. So the case in point is here. I like the fact that you will not be able to have the excuse of blaming the government for why your children might have these neurological disorders. Your child might be allergic to a certain dye or ingredient in this food. Your child is obese. Do y'all know this? Do you know what the #1 cause of obesity is? We get this in the clinics all the time. I'll give y'all some time to answer. And while you guys are getting ready to answer it, make sure you hit the thumbs up button for me right now. Click the thumbs up button for me right now. And a lot of you guys in here right now that are 80s and 90s babies, was there a such thing as autism when we were kids? There we go. Theo, the old bag, you got it. Mountain Dan, you guys got it. The #1 cause of obesity, period, is soda. XJTAC for the $5 Super Ball says, just jumped in after 10 pool. Can you recap what was missed? You didn't miss anything. I'm just pretty much going over that Trump, them are saying they're trying to get to a point to where they are going to eliminate those people who are recipients of food stamps. They're going to try to eliminate them from buying junk food and high sugary drinks from the food stamp program. And I'm just pretty much going over it because a lot of people snapped out and they got mad and they got upset because they're trying to implement this. And Nebraska is leading the way right now. And I think Texas is on their way of doing it too. But what I don't now see, when y'all say when y'all think I agree with everything Trump doing, the only thing I don't agree with in this, let me stop. The only thing I don't agree with in this particular case is it needs to be some specifications. What is considered junk food? what is considered sugary drink. I think it needs to be specified down because, you know, orange juice, things from certain companies, you know, Boathouse Farms that sells like really good type of drinks and juices and things like that is all, you know, cold pressed, no added chemicals in it. It tells you that our ingredients are bananas, kiwis, mango, and celery. That's their ingredients. So when they say sugary drinks, I would like to know what is classified under there. So definitely, in my opinion, and you guys can disagree with this, I don't think no child needs to be drinking any kind of soda. My sons did not taste soda. They didn't taste, my sons, they didn't even taste soda until they were darn near teenagers. Number one, there was no need. Number two, I know how highly addictive those things are. My sons got to see a lot of their own cousins with platinum in their mouth. Y'all don't know what I mean by that. A lot of my sons' cousins had to get silver caps in their mouth because of their teeth. Because I'm just keeping it real. Cuzzos, y'all know it. Love y'all, but I'm not saying no names. But y'all know who y'all are. You guys completely destroyed your children's mouth because all y'all fed them was everything they drank was nothing but soda. And if I can one time, guys, when I do another recap of this video, I'm going to show you guys a video of my nephew. It's my cousin's son, right? But I call him my nephew. He was coming to me and he was, Uncle T, can I have a pop? I'm like, nope, you can go get some water. Well, I don't want no water. Well, you're not thirsty then. I'm thirsty, Uncle T. Please, can I get me a pop? I said, nope. Shut up. Stop asking me. You're not getting a pop. If you want something to drink, you can drink some water. And there was no orange juice. There was no apple juice. There was none of that in there. All it was got my cousin. Shout out to her. She knows who she is. She had like Faygo Red, Faygo Peach. God dang on, I mean, my goodness. She had nothing but sodas in the refrigerator. She's like, oh yeah, they don't drink. Oh yeah, all they drink is pop. What you mean all they drink is pop? They won't drink water. Yes, they will. No, my sons won't drink no water. Yes, they will drink water. Well, then how do I get them to drink water? Stop putting pop in the refrigerator. What are you talking about? Well, then I don't want them to be dehydrated. They dehydrated anyway because they're not drinking water. That's why they got all these autoimmune issues going on. And then your kids got platinum all in their mouth. Oh, that's from the soda? Yeah, that's from the soda. Oh, your kids don't drink water at all? Every meal they're drinking a soda? Kids. And then next thing you know, you get all this crazy stuff they come at me with. Well, you in medicine, cuzzo. Hey, and I get a phone call from my cousin. Hey, cousin. I'm like, yeah. Something going on with such and such kidneys. They say he got kidney stones. What you mean he got kidney stones? That's what they saying. What does that mean, cousin? Is he going to be all right? I mean, if they don't surgically remove them, he can have some issues, or if he doesn't pass, he can have some issues. Yeah, that's what the doctor told me, cuzzo. The doctor said that he going to have to let them pass. How old is your son again? 8. Your son is 8 years old and he got kidney stones? And I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. When it comes down to it, and I keep it real with my cousins, you are the reason why your son is gosh dang on 7 years old with freaking kidney stones. He's 7 years old with kidney stones. 7 years old with kidney stones because you allow him to drink soda. There, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. When you are kids, when you have kids, you need to understand something. There is no say so. There is no my kids won't drink water. They only drink pop. No, they only drink pop because that's all you give them to drink. When they go to school, they're not drinking soda unless you send them to school with a lunch with a soda, which would be ridiculous. Oh, they say he can't sit still. Oh, yeah, I wonder why. His goddamn on insulin levels is so goddamn on spike. He's trying to burn off all that glycogen in his system. That's why they moving it crazy. They just loaded up on sugar. So, cousin, tell me, what do you send, if you send your son to school with a lunch, what do you send him to school with? Oh, he has a bologna sandwich. Then I give him a Snicker bar, a ding dong, and then he gets a pop. And then I give him like a little bit of candy for his lunch. 80s and 90s babies in here right now. Do you guys remember when we actually had a nutritionist that came to our class? They gave us like she came in there, she made us scoop out some, if you weren't allergic, she made us scoop out some peanuts. She made us scoop out some raisins, right? She made us scoop out some pretzels. And then she said we don't need much of this, but sometimes she would let us get a little bit of M&Ms in there. Y'all remember that? Then she was teaching us about nutrition. She would say, now you don't want to have a lot of candy, but you do want to have a whole lot of this, the nuts, the raisins, the pretzels, right? The little bitty, they look like little bitty baked pieces of bread in there, whatever they were called, right? And then she would come back and the nutritionist would come to school again. Guys, today we're going to make ants on a log. Do y'all remember that? If you're not allergic to peanut butter, she would come in and give us a stick of celery. We put the peanut butter in that groove, and then we put raisins on the celery. And she said, that's called ants on the log. And guess what? We loved it. We absolutely loved it. Then you go home to your mom. Mom, I want to make ants on the log. What do you mean ants on the log? We get celery and peanut butter. Boy, you better shut up and go in there and get you a Twinkie. You get you a that's your yellow stick. That's what a lot of parents do. But ladies and gentlemen, here's my issue I have with this. And like I said, this goes to those of you who are on food stamps and you are absolutely raging. You're raging mad because President Trump wants to cut you from buying high sugary drinks like soda, juice with all this crazy ingredients in it, and food dyes. Not food dyes, they're just dyes. They need to be food dyes, but they're just dye. You're buying all this crazy junk, all this highly processed stuff, right? You're buying all of that. And Trump wants to cut you guys from having to do that and getting that. He wants to cut y'all from doing that. Hold on, guys. I think some people got some beef right here. Are they beefing in the parking lot? I hope y'all friends. Y'all want to see this? Are y'all beefing? Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm being nosy. Okay, they cool. Oh, they're arguing, but they're walking off like they're cool. So it's all good. Hit that thumbs up button for me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they still talking trash. I'm being nosy. Are we about to witness some white on white crime? They're not going to do nothing. They're just talking trash. Okay. XJ Tax says, I agree with you. JTAC is a military job. My chick is my second gen from Mexico. They do the same stuff because the water isn't healthy. I'm the guy that only lets my kid drink Sprite when sick. Oh, 100%. And you know what? My sons, when they got sick like that, I had them drink like club soda. Club soda, or they had some Alka-Seltzer. But I didn't even really mess around with Alka-Seltzer though, for real. I just let them play with it because it was good to see their mouth foam. I only did that like once, but I would have them do club soda. So here's my deal. What I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, is this: to those of you that are on food stamps, it blows my mind that you guys are getting pissed off that someone wants your children to be healthy. And this is where y'all gonna get really, really upset at. This is where y'all really get upset at. You guys are upset that President Trump wants to make your children healthy by not allowing you to buy food that can ultimately harm your child. And you're pissed off about that. Well, it's all about what I want to give my child. But if we are telling you, if the science and medicine is telling you that it is harming your child, your response, who he think he is trying to tell us what we can and can't buy for our child? We are showing you through data, we are showing you through research that these chemicals in these foods are causing all types of illnesses within children, within people. Chronic illnesses end up forming where you don't really get rid of it. Autoimmune issues are forming. And somebody is coming along saying, I'm not going to allow you to use ultimately it's me. Any of us that got jobs, yeah, I'm going in on this. Any of us that have jobs and pay our taxes, we are paying for your food stamps, ladies. All of you that are food stamp recipients, me and every working American, we are paying for your food. So no, don't have this attitude like it's my money. It's my food stamps. He can't tell me what to do with my food. It's not yours. Look, be pissed off. Look, I understand. We were on food stamps, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. In childhood, all the way to adulthood, we were on food stamps. I didn't understand how it worked. I just know that we got food stamps. Okay? Now, when you get older and you learn some things, and I realize, wait a minute, this being taken out of my check, so people can get food stamps. So wait a minute, I have to pay out of my check so that people that stay in Florida, Illinois, Tennessee, and Missouri, those are all the states I have a residency in, right? I have to foot the bill for these people. And now here you are. Not to me, let's keep it real, y'all. I'm just gonna keep it 100% real. I always do anyway, but I'm just saying this as a figure of speech. You don't even have the humbleness to be thankful that we, the American people who are out here working, are paying for you and your children to eat. And now you want to be pissed off because someone is saying, we're taking all these things off and we want you to feed your children highly nutritious food that's going to benefit them, not just with nutrition, but it's going to benefit your child because it's going to cut down on, childhood. It's going to cut down on childhood obesity. It's going to cut down on childhood illnesses. It's going to cut down on autoimmune issues. It will cut down on these attention deficit disorders. It's going to cut down on these kidney issues. And you are pissed off about that. Do you know something? I'm going to tell y'all. We all know this. It's naturally in breast milk. We know that children like sugar. Guys, when I told you that I know I'm different. I know y'all might think I'm over the top. I was very involved in my son's lives. Okay? Very involved. Do you know what the first type of sugar my sons had besides their mom's breast milk? Do you know what type of sugar my sons had besides their mom's breast milk? Their first introduction to any type of sugar was like mandarin oranges, apples, bananas. That's all. The only sweets that my sons got when they were little like that, it all was fruit and some vegetables. If you know, carrots are very sweet. That's it. And guess what? if you don't introduce your kids to that world of a bunch of candy and juice and all that bull crap, your children are only going to desire the sugar that you give them by the way of fruit. That's it. They will beg you for it just like they would candy. Dad, I'm like, yeah. Can I get an orange? Yeah, go ahead. Awesome. So not only are they getting their sweet satisfaction, but they're also getting the vitamin C and all kind of other micronutrients and and they're getting a whole lot of things that come through having oranges, the fiber, the immune system boosting. Dad, can I have an apple? Yeah, go ahead and get an apple. Not only is the apple satisfying their sweet tooth again, because that's all they know is being sweet, but now they're getting a little bitty doses of cyanide that's in the apple skin. They're getting nutrition from the apples. They're getting a lot of the nutrients and vitamins that are in apples that actually help fight off a whole lot of illnesses, a whole lot of free radicals. So what kind of sense does it make? What kind of sense does it make that you get pissed off? If I want to, that just blows my mind. And I know all parents are not the same, but I just thought that you as a parent, well, Ty, we can't deprive our kids of everything. Who told y'all that? What do you mean deprive them of everything? They're not going to miss it. How can they miss not having a goddamn on ding dong and having a Swiss roll when they've never had it and they never tasted it? How would they miss it? What do you mean? The only thing you can miss is something that you've had. And if they never had it before, and what do you mean depriving them? Depriving them of what? My sons are grown right now. And when they became grown, they made the decision to go in. If they want to buy themselves a Snicker bar, they already know what comes with. If they want to buy a Kit Kat, if they want to buy some Dairy Queen, my sons did all of that. And if you ask my sons right now, hey, from the age of, of course, when they have consciousness, from the time that you remember being a kid, do you feel like that you were deprived of anything? They would probably look at you like, no. When they got older, they got the choice to eat what they want to, but they already knew what they knew. They knew how dad ate. They knew that, hey, yeah, go ahead. Have some junk food. But the junk food in my house was a privilege. I'm keeping it real with y'all. My sons didn't get no sodas and juices and stuff with every. No, guess what? Every meal, my sons drunk water. They drunk filtered water with every meal, and they maybe had a juice or something like that. I'm just being real with y'all. They maybe had, and when they had juice, it was all like juicy juice, or guess what? I juiced it. I would put some Granny Smith, Gala apples, carrots in a juicer, not a blender. I put it in a juicer. That's what my sons drunk. Loved it. Their friends loved it. I would take Granny Smith apples, pears, carrots, oranges, and I would run it through a juicer. And sometimes I would add some purified water to it. And they loved it. But at least I knew what I was putting in my kid's system. I can count on one hand, seriously. I can count on one hand how many times both of my sons have been sick. One hand, both of them. So, if you want to get pissed off about the SNAP program being cut, you need to understand the origins of it anyway. It never was created for you to go out and buy all this crazy junk food and stuff like that. It never was created for that. It was created for the nutrition of your child and you. Nutrition. And what we know is that a lot of this food that you are eating, that you've been programmed to eat, or either it's been passed down from generation to generation to generation, that you've been eating, this food has a lack of nutritional value in it. When you hear things like whole foods, it should be things that the way, I always tell people this, the way that it grew, that's the way you should eat it. So I hate when people try to say things like, Ty, you're a health nut. No, I'm not. I eat normal. Yeah, I eat meat, fruit, vegetables, nuts, berries, And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I have my cheat days. I'll eat McDonald's every now and then. I'll eat Burger King every now and then. I'll eat Chipotle every now and then. I'll eat pizza every now and then. I get down when I eat. When I eat out, I eat out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Right? But throughout the week, in my house, when my wife cooked, we had meat, fruit, vegetables, seasoned really well, olive oil drizzled and everything like that. That's what we ate. That's what my sons then were used to. Now, every now and then for a special occasion, let's keep it real. Oh, we had the mac and cheese and the collard greens with neck bones or fat back and ham hocks in it. And yeah, we had all that. But it wasn't a every week thing where we ate like that, where we ate all that stuff that was super high in sodium, super high in sugar. Then you're going to have a soda on top of that. If you don't think that sugary foods and things like that is not a detriment to your immune system and yourself, why is it that if you go to like a Chinese buffet, almost everything they serve at a Chinese buffet is shiny and sweet? Oh yeah, y'all know, go to a Chinese buffet, almost everything they got up there that's a meat, it's shiny and it's sweet. General Tso's chicken, Kung Pao chicken, Mongolian beef, almost all of it is sugary and sweet. And then on top of that, you have a Coke or something on top of that. Well, you know, diabetes run in my family. It's passed down. No, it's not. Well, you know, high blood pressure runs in my family. It's passed down. No, that's all that MSG you're eating at these restaurants. And actually, if y'all want to be truthful, high blood pressure comes more from sugar and diabetes than it does sodium. Change my mind. You won't, guys, I'm in medicine. We see these things every single day. When we have patients that come in and have high blood pressure, it's been this crazy thing where they say, well, you need to lower your salt intake and your sodium intake. It's really not the sodium, it's the sugar. Because guess what? When you have any type of issue with high blood pressure and you have to be admitted into the hospital, guess what they put you on as an IV? Sodium chloride, sodium potassium. What do you mean sodium? It's really, really simple for you parents who are pissed off about having to possibly not buy any junk food and not buy sugary drinks. I think it is absolutely 100% a great thing. You may not agree with it, but I agree with it because I want your children to be healthy. And if you have to use your money, if you even got it, to buy your kids that junk food, then great, because I know that you won't be feeding them a lot of it. You want to know why? Because you're not going to use your money to be buying your kids a lot of junk food, period. That's it. It's that simple. Which means you're going to have to go and focus on buying your kids whole, healthy food. And to make it easy for you, when you go into any grocery store, shop on the outside of the aisle. Start there first. The minute you go into Walmart, the minute you go into Schnucks, the minute you go into Winn-Dixie, Publix, Jewel's, Kroger's, Shop and Save, I don't care what, the minute you go into those grocery stores, walk on the outside and buy that stuff first before going to anything in the middle aisles. Because you know what you're going to find on the outside of the stores? Meat, fruit, vegetables, nuts, berries, roots. You have a cell phone. I know it's easy to go and buy all those banquet meals that got a bunch of crap in it that has no nutrition in it whatsoever. No nutrition in it whatsoever. You might as well feed your kids gravy flavored cardboard that has the texture of meat. When you buy those banquet meals and those Stouffer meals and all those things like that, you might as well buy your child a bunch of ground up sawdust with flavored bone broth in it that has no nutritional value in it whatsoever. Oh my God, Ty, what are they going to do? They have to cook now. What? Oh my God, you mean mom? You got to go back to being able to cut up fruits and vegetables? You got to be able to go back to actually looking in a cookbook to feed your kids? Oh, I know how convenient it was for you to take those TV dinners and those banquet dinners, pop them in a goddamn on microwave, pop it in the oven, press a button and wait, and just hand it to your kids and feed it to them. My son got a doctor's appointment. Why? His stomach ain't been right. Well, the doctor said my son got to take this medication to help his stomach digest the food. It's not food that he's eating. That's the problem. Your child is not eating food. He's eating chemically made up crap that was made in the lab. Man. XJTAC with the $20 super chat, and God bless you, and I appreciate that. Says, love the show. Been trying to catch you live just to super chat. 31% of Medicaid goes to CHIP. Yep. So 300 million per year. Maybe women learn to cook again and men be fathers, single income again. My house, step up. I absolutely agree with that. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. They lied to you guys. Go back to eating eggs, right? Go back to eating eggs. If you're gonna drink milk, get the Fairfield milk that they put it through a nice little filter, cold pressed. You don't have to worry about it being homogenized and antibiotics and all that crazy bull crap in it. Get some whole milk if you drink whole milk. And you might have to pay a little bit more for it, but it's, hey, at least you are, those of you that on a snap, at least you are replacing that with freaking goddamn on Hawaiian Punch or Yahoo. Learn to cook. I don't know anybody right now that does not have access to a phone, or you might have a computer. You look the stuff up on YouTube and find out how you can cook with your children. And not only that, do you know what type of memories? This is how beneficial some of y'all don't even like this. Some of you women that are pissed off about this, that you might have to cook. Do you know what type of relationship and bonding and closeness you would have with your child when you bring them to the table and you're cutting up some vegetables and you putting some olive oil on it and you might drizzle some Italian seasoning on it and you let your child do it? Do you understand what bonding you are doing with your child when you do things like that? Do you understand? Your child is going to one day say, I remember being in the kitchen and my mom put me on a chair. Y'all remember those days? Us 80s and 90s babies, most likely we do. I remember my mom putting me on the chair and she gave me a little butter knife to cut a banana, to teach me how to cut. Y'all remember stuff like that? My mom gave me this and she told me to shake it a little bit. I remember my mom got out some meat and she put the meat on the table and she let me stab it with a fork. And then she had me drizzle some olive oil on it. And she had me season it with some salt, some pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some cayenne pepper. And then my mom had me rub it. Then she had me flip it over and do the same thing. Y'all remember days like that? So now, what you need to do, instead of crying and complaining about this, look at the opportunity that you as a mother, you as a father, that you may be able to do now with your child. And if you go in there and you make the right decision to go and buy these whole foods, this is what you'll be able to do with your child. Now, the slick part about this is what I told you guys. This is where it's going to get real sketchy at, is if you go, and I know President Trump them said they want to cut out the junk food and the sugary drinks, right? What do most of these banquet meals and these TV dinners and these kid cuisines, what do they all come with then when you bake it? Y'all want to answer that? Ty, you would love my kosh bread. My koshered mesquite. Okay, I'm sorry. You would love my koshered mesquite smoked chicken tender recipe. Oh yeah, I'm a huge foodie. We as president now got it absolutely right. In almost every TV dinner, and so did Cheryl, in almost every TV dinner, it got a goddamn on brownie in it, or it got like an apple crisp dessert treat in it, or it got like a package of gummy bears in it that they let you know, read the box before you serve this, take out the gummy bears, let them unthaw while you're cooking the meal. By the time the meal is done cooking 20 to 30 minutes, the gummy bears will be unthawed. So this is how they would probably get around still being able to buy junk food for the kids, is when they buy these kid cuisines or banquet dinners that got these brownies and stuff in. I hope that every last person that tries to get around on that, I hope that your kid that has the brownie, I hope that all the corn is just integrated in those brownies, so where you can't take the corn out because it's frozen in that pastry brownie bull crap. And when you bake it, your kid gonna be eating corn brownie bread. Corn brownie bread. What's wrong with being healthy? What's wrong with feeding your kids nutritious food? What's wrong with putting your kids on a chair, cutting up food and teaching them how to cook, teaching them how to season the food? What's wrong with breaking down to your children the reason why we eat carrots is because carrots got carotene in it, and it helps with your eyes. It helps with cellular development. It helps with cells to get rid of bad things. What's wrong with teaching your kids things like that? I don't get it. And here you all, why can't I buy my kids no Hawaiian Punch no more? Why can't I buy them Faygo Red? Huh? Why can't I buy my kids Mellow Yellow? Y'all pissed off about that. It's crazy. So anyway, when it comes to things like that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's a really good idea. I think that us, the American people, who are taxpayers, who are footing the bill for these single mothers most of the time, that are on welfare and that they're also on food stamps, I think it is absolutely 100% the right thing to do by the children. And again, to some of you that are in here that are pissed off and mad about me saying this, and you might be on food stamps, I really want you to think about something. Food stamps, if you had a very good, humble heart, you should look at food stamps as a privilege. You should be thankful that you're able to get food stamps. But for you to have the audacity, like it's owed to you, for you to have like the audacity that you are entitled to it, any of you that have a mindset like that, you the guys are one that I just don't even have. Like, I have a lot less respect for you. And I know you don't, I don't care if you have respect for me or not. I'm just letting you know, if you understood the history of food stamps, and that is absolutely 100% not free, because I'm paying for it. So I know a lot of y'all a lot of you guys got mad the other day when I told you, I said sometimes, like, okay, one of my cousins, like if I see one of my cousins in the store, she hates when I do this too. I'll sometimes catch her in the store, usually around the first of the month. Y'all already know, let's be honest. I catch her in the grocery store. I'll go up to her and I go, "You're welcome." She'll, "Oh gosh, what's going on, cuz? I love you. Could you quit doing that? I hate you. You stupid." That's what she'll say to me. "You stupid." Because I'll go to her and I'll say, "Hey, you're welcome." And when I first started doing it to her, she was like, "What you mean you welcome?" I'm like, "Because I paid for that." She said, "You didn't, what you mean?" She said, "You gonna pay for it?" "No, I'm getting, this is food stamps." I said, "That's what I'm saying. I paid for that." "What you mean you paid for it?" "Because me working and everybody else in here that's paying cash for their food, we are the reason why you are buying all these steaks and buying all these steaks and all this stuff like that. That's we the reason why. So you're welcome, cuzzo." It'd be nice. You know what, guys? Let me tell you something. You know how, like, when you get a job, you have to go through like a training program, right? You know, you got to go through a training program. Wouldn't it be nice if everybody that is going to be a recipient of food stamps, they have to watch a video on why food stamps were created, who actually is footing the bill for food stamps, why it is a privilege to be on food stamps, and what are the most important things you need to buy with food stamps. And if you are of low intelligence, and I'm not saying this to be condescending, if you are of low intelligence, that you also can get this program with a link that you can go watch on YouTube on the basics of cooking. I'm keeping it 100% real. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to be condescending. I'm not saying this to shame anybody, but I'm telling y'all right now, I'm just being real. A lot of my mentees right now, their parents, their mothers mainly, they're not the most intelligent people. And look, listen, before y'all say anything, I'm not telling you that they're not good women, that they're not, but when it comes to a lot of common sense, a lot of smartness when it comes to cooking and things like that, they don't have it. And I don't blame them, because it got passed down from their mother, who only fed them TV dinners and only fed them ramen noodles. And every time they got hungry, the mama said, go in there and fix you a bologna sandwich, or go in there and boil you some hot dogs. I mean, their life consisted of nothing but bologna sandwiches, ramen noodles, and hot dogs. And every now and then, and TV dinners. Do y'all know? I'm telling you, that's why y'all, if you only, with all these chemicals that people are consuming on a daily basis, our bodies are very, very extraordinary. That's why the Bible says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. The body is a very extraordinary machine that there is no way that I can sit here and say that this was by chance. If you understood the amount of chemicals that we consume every day, and your body is fighting to metabolize and get rid of a lot of these free radicals and is breathing certain chemicals out. You got a bunch of bacteria in your mouth that breaks down a lot of things when you swallow it. It goes into your gestation system. You got stomach acid, hydrochloric acid in your stomach mixed with the enzymes in your saliva that tries to help break down a lot of these things in your body for it to be adequately, adequately exposed of. It comes out in your poop, comes out in your pee. And that's what all the chemicals that you have been eating since you were a child. And yet you get tricked by medicine in the medical world by, oh man, I got the Arthur then crept up on me, man. Oh yeah, I got diabetes. Oh yeah, I got high blood pressure. Oh yeah, I got diverticulitis. Oh, it runs in my family, Ty. Oh, I got this, I got that, and you're really telling me that you were healthy all this time. And all of a sudden, the medical world lied to you and say, yeah, most people, when they're getting their 30s and 40s and 50s, everybody gets some shape or form or fashion of arthritis or COPD or hypertension, or they get diabetes. It happens to everybody. It's just a part of life. That's a goddamn on lie. That is a lie. XJTAC again says, have to reply to Sonny Lopez. It's actually cheaper learning to make food from scratch. If men and women did their roles, you can easily be able to save money and your man will make more. That is 100% true. Guys, I am not bragging when I tell you this. I was blown out of my mind. Listen to me. My wife has shopped for us, my family, since my wife did do all the shopping, okay? Speaking of which, god dang, it's 9:46 and she's still in there. Dang. Anyway, my wife has done all the cooking, right? My wife cooks from scratch. And she does this 90% of the time. Sometimes when she ain't feeling it, she'll go and get the organic, mac and cheese or something like that with organic cheese and all this. My wife cooks from scratch, right? Check this out. It blew my mind that one of my mentees, right? One of my mentees, the mother, she gets $2,100 a month. And she has 3 kids. Here I am, when my sons were teenagers, we are eating family, y'all. When we eat family size meals, I'm talking about like I'm putting down 4 or 5 chicken thighs, and my sons are putting down 4 or 5 chicken thighs, and my wife can barely eat 2. My wife average out how much food we ate and how much stuff she buys. Our bill is anywhere from $600 to $800 a month, and that's with teenage boys, and that's with my appetite. But you're telling me my little mentee, he's the oldest of his 3 siblings. He's 12, the other one is 10, and the other one is 8. and the mom is getting $2,100 food stamps. What? I'm like, what are you spending it on? Like, how are you spending? There's no way. You're spending 20, you get, do y'all know how much money that is a year? That is what? $40,000. No, I got that wrong. That's pretty much $25,000 a month. She's getting $2,100. I was like, no, I saw it. I said, how in the world are you getting $2,100 a month with 3 kids? How is that even possible? I don't know. They just gave it to me. Man, I said I'm keeping it real. And guys, I'm just keeping it real. There are several mothers that actually, you can say I coach them. I mentor their kids, but I coach the mothers. I had to literally break them from selling food stamps. And let's keep it real, they were young. They were only doing what they were shown by their mama. The mama was only doing what she was shown by their grandmama. You sell your food stamps. You want to know why she couldn't spend it? Man, I don't even know how to, I can't even I told my wife, I said, well, you spend what? $600 to $800 a month on food for me and my sons, who were some grown teenagers that we eat a lot. And how are you going to spend $2,100 on a freaking 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old and yourself? What, I mean, God, that's y'all eating. I know y'all eating porterhouses and ribeyes and lobster, shrimp. I know y'all just eating eating like the finest cuts of food. How? Well, I really don't spend it all. I be selling it. Oh, please, Jesus Christ. And if you guys don't know this, it's something that's part of the game. I'm just keeping it real. Some of these people, like, guys, I'm just telling y'all the truth. When I go to when I go back to visit my old neighborhoods and things like that, you know what some of the main talks in the hood is? Hey, y'all, who got a card? Hey, they said Keisha got a card, man. They said she's selling 900. Keisha says she's selling 900. Now, if y'all don't understand how food stamps work, when you sell food stamps, if somebody is willing to, let me give you an example. If for every dollar somebody gives you in food stamps, you give them 50 cents. So if they give you $100 to use their card, you give them $50. I don't know if y'all know that. Did any of you guys didn't know that? Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't take nothing. It just takes your finger just to go like this to click the thumbs up button. If you're on your phone, double tap the screen. It gives the video a thumbs up. Yeah, on the streets, if someone gives me $100 in food stamps, I give them $50 in cash. So the government thought they got smart by making these cards. Oh yeah, because people are selling their food stamps. Yeah, there was a day where food stamps came in books. Like if you spend $5 or more and you try to take that $5 out of that food stamp book, no sir. So now the government thought they would get smart by giving you a card, and they tell you, please don't share your code with anybody. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. They sure won't do that. The freaking heck out of here. So anyway, folks, I'm not going to hold up too much more of y'all time. I really do appreciate y'all being in here and talking with me while my son is in there suffering. It's 9:52. I know these stores close like at 10:30. So, I mean, it's really simple math, guys. I mean, if you really care about your children, you would do everything you can to make your children and keep your children healthy. And I hope, and I know some of y'all, I get you. I don't, I get that some of y'all don't like what RFK is doing, RFK Jr. And hopefully he's working on getting chemicals out of the food where they have to use like natural food dyes. Like natural food dyes. You got to use like crushed plum skin purple or raspberry red dye. What's wrong with that? Use fruit dyes. Use natural fruit dyes for cereal and things like that. What's wrong with that? But what RFK Jr. is trying to do by getting these dyes out of our food, getting these chemicals out of our food, getting these things that might be cancer-causing agents out of our food, I don't understand how people can be mad at that. I really don't. And for some of you who listen to that stupid, dumb meme of a black woman saying, we can't eat the food that we're supposed to be eating. See, we from Africa. We not eating the roots. We not eating the tree bark. We not eating monkey toenails like we supposed to. You know, we not eating crushed pineapple needle gum. We over here eating American food, and that's why we obese. That's some of the dumbest stuff in the world. You are fat. You are fat because you eat a lot and you eat a whole lot of wrong stuff. That's why you're fat. You have high blood pressure. It's not because of hereditary or anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all, you have to really understand and listen that your body is like a garden. Listen to me when I say this. I say the same thing about the mind. Your body will accept anything you plant in it, but your body will return to you what you planted in it. Your mind is the same way. You can plant whatever type of thoughts, be it positive or negative, in your mind, but your mind will return to you what you planted in it. Why do you say that, Tom? We went through med school. They say the number one ways that people get sick is ingestion, inhalation, through absorption of the skin, or through like a cut or like an infection type deal. Things that get into your body and cause you to get sick, it lets you know you ate something, you ingested something, you absorbed something, you inhaled something broke through your skin, and now that sickness is a result of what entered into the body. Nobody goes through life eating really good and all of a sudden just develop high blood pressure or diabetes. It doesn't happen that way. It does not happen that way. You don't go through life and all of a sudden you just out of the blue develop something unless you stay in a certain type of environment where stuff is in the air, unless you've been around people who are smokers, unless you are a smoker yourself, unless you drink sodas and things like that all the time throughout your whole entire life. But you don't just automatically just say, yeah, I know one day I'm going to get high blood pressure. Why is that? Because high blood pressure runs in my family. Well, what is your family eating? Well, I'm going to get diabetes one day. Why is that? It's because diabetes always ran in my family. But then I look at your family, all of y'all are like morbidly obese. All of y'all breathing heavy. You're 48 years old and you got a goddamn carry on portable oxygen. You sleep with a CPAP or a BiPAP, but it's just because, it's just because it runs in the family. No, the problem is nobody is running in your family. It don't run in your family. It's just that nobody is running in your family. Ladies and gentlemen, eating fat like you're supposed to is not going to make you fat. Eating butter is not going to do that to you. Eating eggs like that is not going to do that to you. What is going to do it to you is a whole lot of these things called carbohydrates. And most carbohydrates is found in highly processed foods. A lot of stuff that's highly processed is going to have a whole lot of carbohydrates in it. The carbohydrates enter your body and it turns into something called glycogen. Glycogen is something there that's supposed to be used by your body as energy for cellular motion, cellular daily activities, and then it's also supposed to be used as energy to get burned off when you exercise and things like that, right? That is what glycogen does. Carbohydrates breaks down into that, but if you do not use that glycogen in your system, it's going to be converted into a fat cell. That fat cell is going to hold something called fat, and you're going to get fatter. Some of you guys try to come to me, man, look, Ty, I don't even eat that much. Look what man, you eat nothing but a bunch of carbs and you're not exercising, you're not burning off the glycogen, so it's going to be stored as fat. That's why you're fat. But that's why they say, you know, the road to health is going to be diet and exercise. But number one thing is going to be diet. The number two thing is going to be exercise. You need to understand that. You need to remember that, guys. And just like with your children, number one path to your children becoming healthy and staying healthy is going to be through diet and exercise. If you are a 80s and 90s babies, y'all remember being in the 80s and 90s babies to where we played outside all day? Y'all remember going on the side of the house, drinking out of the water hose? And if it wasn't a water hose there to that faucet, you did your hands like this and you drank it out of your hands. Y'all remember those days? Huh? Do you remember the days that if you tried to go in the house, your mom would look at you and be like, what are you doing? It's hot outside. Your mom would be like, well, go back outside and sit under the shade. Y'all remember those days? Do you remember the days where on any given time, you would find like 8, 9, 10 bikes in somebody's front yard? Because you probably, if you didn't have the water, if sometimes, it depends on how hot it was in the summer, that water on the side of the house came out warm. Do you remember that when you had about 6, 7, 8, 9 bikes in the yard because y'all went inside to get some water? And your mama said, y'all got 5 minutes to get some water. Get y'all butts back outside. Y'all remember those days? Do you remember the days where you played so good outside that if you fell down and hurt yourself, you did not want to go and tell your mom? Because if you told your mom that you fell down and you hurt yourself, they're going to make you stay in the house. You didn't want to go in the house. You didn't want to go in the house. Do you remember the days like that, guys, where you played and when it got nighttime, the street light came on, you knew it was time to go in? You had dirt rings all under your neck, dirt rings all in the crease of your arm. You took a shower, we didn't have a shower, but we had a bathtub. You took a bath and you had that big old dirt ring around the bath. Y'all remember those days? I absolutely love that, man. Anyway, folks, just wanted to kind of push that out there. Keep yourself healthy. Keep your children healthy. I think it's a great thing that's going to be done with them not allowing you to buy junk food and buy a bunch of sodas and things like that can completely destroy your child's immune system, destroy your child's organs and all that. And with that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out of here. My wife is calling me right now because I guess the store's closed and it's time for her to be done with all her shopping. So I will catch you guys on the next one. I really do appreciate you guys being in here, all right? I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I'm praying every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.